But who doesn't want more money? Hi babes, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Shamika if you are new here, and if you're joining us for the first time, welcome girl. Hit that subscribe button and join the family. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about how you can level up and become a new you in 2025. If you want to see the tips that I have for you, then just keep on watching. So to level up in 2025, the first thing that you want to do is really focus on making significant changes in certain areas of your life, such as your career, your health, and your relationships. I find that when you think about the things that you want to change, it's really beneficial to categorize them so that you know what areas you need to work on and specifically what you're looking to improve in each area. So the first category that we're going to get into is health and wellness. I just have two major things that you can do in this category to level up in 2025. And the first one is to start a regular exercise routine. Now this is not going to be something that's easy, especially if you are not a fitness girly by nature. So what I would suggest is to focus on something that you enjoy. Find an activity that you really like and start with that and become consistent in that area. When I first started my fitness journey, I started out by playing tennis, and then I did some Pilates, and then ultimately I landed on this app called ClassPass where you're able to try out different forms of group exercise to kind of find what you like and figure out your flow. I've since found about 1 to 2 gyms that I truly enjoy via ClassPass, and I go to those classes on a consistent basis. So really hone in and focus on what is it that you like to do when it pertains to being active. Do you like tennis? Do you like basketball? Do you like individual workouts? Do you like group settings? Are you a yoga person? Are you more of a cardio girl? Figure out what you enjoy so that it's easier to maintain consistency in that area, and then you can build a routine from there. The next thing is to improve your diet by reducing the amount of processed foods you eat. In America, everything is processed. Everything has additives and preservatives to it. And as a country as a whole, we just eat very, very poorly, especially compared to other countries and other nations. So it's really important to do your best to cook your meals at home, meal prep, try to use fresh ingredients, incorporate fruits and veggies, and try not to eat out as much. The McDonald's and the fast foods are really not good for us. The frozen meals, I used to be a Trader Joe's girl. I loved me a quick little frozen meal, but I've since eliminated that from my diet because it's just not healthy for you. It takes a long time to digest in your system, and it doesn't really provide you with the nutrients and things that you need to live a healthy lifestyle. So really focus on improving your diet in the coming year, and that will go hand in hand with your exercise regimen that you create for yourself. The next category we're going to get into is career development. Now this category is going to be very specific and unique to each individual. The first thing that you want to do is identify what your career goals are and then create a plan to achieve them. So if the goal is to get a new position elsewhere or to get a promotion where you currently are, you want to identify what it is that you want and then create that plan for yourself. If this applies to you, you could also think about furthering your education. I'm not going to lie, girl. I'm going to be so honest. Every year I think about going back to school, and not going back to get my bachelor's or anything like that, but maybe trade school. There's so many things that I'm interested in. There's so many things that pique my interest that I want to learn about. So I'm always considering going back to school to do something. That's just how I am. But if going to school for you will help advance your career and help you get to another level, help get you additional certifications and qualifications for certain positions, never take that off the table. We're never too old to learn. We're never too old to adapt new skills and pour into ourselves in our education. So if you need to go back to school to advance in your career, now is the time to do that. I know that in Texas, they currently have it to where tuition is waived as well as the fees are waived if you're a Texas resident and you apply to go to school in 2025. I know here in Chicago, I believe all the city of Chicago community colleges now offer free classes or free enrollment, I believe. Don't quote me, but I've been hearing little things, and it seems like as a nation, we're on a path to making education more affordable. So look into those options and snag it while you can, girl, because you never know with this new administration what's going to happen. So get in there while you can, sis. The last tip that I have for you is to just keep your eye out on job postings. Before I started started my new position and I was with my previous company, I was always on Indeed looking for me a new job. And over the course of 4 years that I was with that company, I probably did 2 to 3 interviews with other companies. I did that not because I was looking to leave every single time that I did apply for a position, but who doesn't want more money? If I saw a position with more money, I was applying to it and eventually sometimes ended up being interviewed. And that was great practice to keep me fresh and keep me aware of what's out there and how the job market was changing. And then it really helped prepare me for when I did land my current position, because when I applied for my current position, I was actively looking. I was in that place where I wanted to leave. So when I applied to this position, I didn't feel rusty. I felt very confident going into the interview. I knew what I was talking about. I knew what the market looked like and what was out there. So I was very intentional about where I chose to apply, and ultimately I landed the position. So definitely keep your eyes on Indeed and LinkedIn and see what's going on in the job market. See if pay is increasing. See what the requirements are for new positions, just so you can be aware of what's going on in your industry and you can always stay ahead of the changes. The next category that we're going to tap into is personal growth. Now, personal growth is probably my favorite category because I love pouring into myself, girl. Now, granted, you pour into yourself for all of these, but it's just something about the personal growth category that just really speaks to me. So the first tip that I have for you is to learn a new skill or language. Now, if you are not new here, you girls will know that I did practice Spanish on Duolingo, and I was pretty consistent with that for about 4 to 5 months. I did fall off, but I know a decent amount of Spanish now. Sometimes when I'm looking at a show on TV and I hear someone say a word in Spanish, I'm like, okay, I know what that is. I do really want to pick it back up in the new year, so I will do that. But try learning a new skill. If learning a language isn't your thing, try painting, skating, golfing, swimming. Take swimming lessons. That's something that's been on my radar for a while now because I don't know how to swim. Like, I know how to swim a little bit, but when I tell people that, they say if you don't know how to swim, if the answer isn't a solid yes, then you don't know how to swim. So whatever. But I do want to take swimming lessons at some point. And the great thing about learning new skills is that it makes you a more multifaceted person. You're not one-dimensional. You're not boring. And the great thing about learning these new skills, these are things that you can pass down to your children or your grandchildren, and it just helps you become a more well-rounded individual. The next thing that you can do for personal growth is one of my favorites, and that is regularly read or research topics that interest you. I do this all the time. Like, this is literally how I spend my days. If I hear about a topic or a phenomenon that's interesting to me, or even just a phrase that I'm not aware of, I'm going to research it. I am super big on researching things. I'm rarely someone who's going to ask somebody, where'd you get that from? Or how do you know that? Or where did you? I'm going to do that information. I'm going to do that research on my own because I like to consume the knowledge for myself. And I just feel like that's the best way to be. You want to be proactive when it comes to learning and figuring out things on your own, rather than just sitting back and wanting somebody else to give you all the information. The best way to learn is to go straight to the source, and Google is the source. So do that research for yourself. If something is interesting to you, look up a YouTube video on a topic. Read a couple of blogs or articles or whatever you got to do to be knowledgeable about what it is that's interesting to you, rather than just sitting back and asking someone else for that information. For example, I've been watching Married at First Sight UK, which I love Married at First Sight. Me and my brother used to watch it all the time together, but the UK version, baby, chef's kiss. Them UK people eat. The American version don't got nothing on the UK version. But with that being said, I was watching this season and they kept saying, you're taking a piss out of me, or is he taking a piss out of me? And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what are they saying? So you know what I did? I Googled it. I typed in Google, what does take the piss out of me mean? Because I just didn't understand. And now I know some UK slang. I know a couple of UK slang words. And so whenever I do go over there, I'll be kind of knowledgeable. And I'm sure when that time comes, I'll do more research about the continent and dig more into it. But yes, ladies, do your own research, figure things out. And again, it also ties back to just being that well-rounded individual. Last tip that I have in the personal growth category is to practice showing gratitude and focusing on the positive things in your life. Now, I know that this is not going to always be easy. Sometimes things come up in life and they can really knock us off our square and shift our focus. But as much as you can, be thankful, be grateful, pray to whoever it is that you believe in, and thank them for everything that you have in your life. Because I am a strong believer and it could always be worse. Like, it could always be worse. It doesn't have to be what it is now. You think it's bad, it can get worse. To not focus so much on what you don't have or what you're missing out on or what you wish you could do and where you wish you could be and go and all the wishful thinking. Take time to focus on what you do have and what you are thankful for and what you are blessed with, because there's somebody out there in the world who doesn't have that and wish that they did, who doesn't eat how you eat and live independently how you live and wish that they did. So be thankful and be grateful for the things that you do have so that you can prepare yourself to receive whatever God or whoever you believe in has in store for you. The fourth and final category is relationships. Now, I have just 3 little small tips in this category, and the first one is to nurture relationships and spend time with those who are important to you. Now, I kid you not, I am the oldest of 9, and so every single year, one of my New Year's resolutions is to spend more time with my siblings and my family. And that's because for me, 9, it's very difficult to build really strong individual connections with each person. So for me, it's really important each year to give more, and try to build those connections with my siblings and then my friends and my extended family as well. But definitely nurture those relationships, because what I've come to realize is that when you're no longer here and you leave this earth, all you have is the relationships and the connections that you made to carry on your legacy. Yes, you have your children, but if you didn't nurture that relationship, if you didn't spend time with them and pour into them, when you're no longer here, they're not going to speak of you. They're not going to speak about you and speak on the things you taught them, the things y'all did together. So it's really important to pour into people while we are here on this earth, because that's all we have when we're not here anymore. We can't take the clothes and the shoes and the trips. We can't take that stuff with us. All we have is the way that we impacted people and how we showed up for them. So do that in the coming year, and trust me, you will definitely see a change in how people speak about you and how they feel about you and you guys' relationship together. The next tip is to work on resolving conflicts constructively. Now, this one, I think I'm pretty good with this one, but at my big age, I'm not that old, but at 30, I think I should be, because what I've learned is that certain people in my life, I know who they are, I recognize who and how they are, and I know how to handle them. So 5 years ago, my auntie might have got me out my body and I might have wanted to cuss her out. Now it's just like, I know how to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? So just know who you're dealing with, so that when there is conflict, you don't allow it to consume you and get you to act out of character. The biggest thing that I've learned is that you can't change people. You just have to meet them where they're at. So when there is conflict, if you know who you're dealing with, keep your expectations low. Don't let it bother you too bad. Don't let it mess with you too bad. And try to resolve that conflict with that person on the level to which they're at. Don't expect too much. Don't expect them to suddenly become somebody else. Meet them where they're at and resolve the conflict in the best way that you know that you guys can together. The last tip that I have is to set healthy boundaries. Now, like I said earlier, I'm the oldest of 9, so it's really important for me to set boundaries, because if I give myself or overextend myself too much to my siblings and to my family, I won't have nothing left for me, not to mention my friends as well. So it's really important for me to take the time for myself, to pour into myself, give myself what I need, give myself the time and attention and the relaxation that I need away from people and in my own solitude, so that when I am around them and when I am reaching out to them and making those connections, I can show up as my best self. When I'm allowing everybody to call me with their problem and I'm putting everybody little fires out and I haven't had that time for myself, I don't show up as my best self. And so I have to create those healthy boundaries so that when I am summoned and when I am needed, I can show up as the best version of myself for those around me and for myself. And so to sum this whole video up, in order to achieve the things that we just talked about, I have 3 important action steps that you're going to need to take throughout the next year to help you stay accountable and stay on track for achieving your goals. So the first one is self-reflection. Once you self-reflected on the things that you want to change change and you've identified what those things are and the steps that you need to take to achieve them, make sure you then figure out what's holding you back. Why aren't you spending more time with your family? Why aren't you more involved with your friends? Why aren't you living a healthier lifestyle and being active? And why aren't you thinking about career development? Think about why you are not taking those steps currently so that you can know what's holding you back from achieving them and you can be aware of those things. The next thing that you want to do is seek support, whether that be friends, family, your man, your girlfriend, whatever you got, a therapist. Seek support so that you can have a community of people who are going to hold you accountable and make sure you stay on top of what it is you need to do. And they're not going to micromanage you, but if they know that you said you want to go to the gym 3 days a week, they can be asking you each week, hey, how many times did you go to the gym this week? Or, oh, are you going to the gym today? I'm going. So try to create a community of people who you know are going to hold you accountable and help you stay on task to complete your goals. And the last tip that I have for you is to embrace the challenges. Do not let the setbacks or the shortcomings to allow you to feel discouraged and keep you from achieving your goal. You are going to have setbacks in this coming year. You are not going to successfully achieve every single goal. It just doesn't work like that. But what matters is that you keep chugging along and you look at those setbacks and challenges as opportunities to learn and discover new things and opportunities for you to grow. You can grow in the midst of challenges and adversity. That's what they're there for. They're there to help when you sharpen the iron. So don't get discouraged when things don't go your way. If you blow up on somebody and they took you out of character, don't just say to hell with the goal. No, use that as an opportunity to think about, okay, why did I fall short this time? What is it about that person that caused me to get out of character this time? And what can I do next time to make sure that that doesn't happen? So that is all that I have for the video. I hope you all enjoyed. And what I want to say in closing is that to be patient with yourself. Be patient. This stuff is going to take time, and celebrate your small wins along the way. When you do something good, go treat yourself to a smoothie. Go treat yourself to some Starbucks. Buy a bag. Get your nails done. Get your hair done. Celebrate those small wins because they're going to be the encouragement that you need to stay on task to complete your goals in the coming year. I love you all, and I hope to see you on my next video. Bye.